I mean, I know what's going on because I played this game a lot.
What? I'm back in front of the altar. This is beginning to blow my mind. Wait a minute, I remember. The broken pieces of the
Oh my god.
I have to restore them to where they belong.
Every line read in this game is fucking gold. This is beginning to blow my mind. Oh my god, it's so fucking stupid sounding. Again, I don't quite remember what the voice acting situation is here. I know in the GameCube re-release of this game, they had the 4Kids voice actors, but in the Dreamcast version, they didn't have the 4Kids voice actors, so I'm like...
to find the remaining pieces, wherever they are.
So I'm not sure. Either this is the 4Kids voice actors, or it's not. Either way, it's... bad voice acting!
Look! It's Eggman's flying fortress! That's where the rest of the pieces must be.
That's kind of a logical leap. Also, why is the Master Emerald showing you the Eggman Fortress? I didn't know that that was a thing it could do. I didn't know that was something it could do. Random Gamma. Randomly here for no reason. There is no excuse or explanation for why Gamma is here.
Isn't that one of Eggman's robots?
Even when we get to Gamma's story mode,
I know.
you never come here.
I'll follow it back to
At this point in the story, it really doesn't make any sense that Gamma is here.
Eggman.
Actually, now that I think about it, now that I overthink about it as I do, maybe that does make a certain degree of sense. Huh. This doesn't make sense until we get to Gamma's story, but Gamma does get a flashback, like every other character. Which, again, is weird because he's just a robot. But Gamma does get a flashback. And at the end of that flashback, when he comes back from being back in time in the like, Empire, wherever, he's back in... He starts out the flashback in one location, and then at the end of the flashback, after he comes out of it, he's back in Eggman's home base. So... And that interaction here, I like how you can actually see the indent in the Master Emerald where you still have 3 missing pieces. This scene must be in between the flashback, or the beginning, where he first gets triggered with the flashback, and where the flashback ends. So does that mean, while the characters are stuck in the flashback, are they still physically moving around in the real world? Huh. Like, Knuckles got that flashback at the bottom of the pyramid, and when he came out of it, he was standing right back in front of the altar. Which is funny, because the physical space back in the past had these 2 locations in... Like, in the real world, that was in the middle of the forest, and you gotta go through across Mystic Ruins in order to get here. But back in the past, that's a different trip. Again, I'll talk about that, but... Does that mean, while they're tripping out and having the flashback, their physical body is still active in the real world? They're not... Because what I thought what it was is, they're being, like, transported from the present day and actually being put back into the past. And then they're actually being put back into the present day in some other location. But apparently, judging by Gamma getting his flashback at the beach, and us seeing him here, and following him back to Eggman's base, and then the flashback ends, and he wakes up, and he's standing right in front of Eggman. Does that mean that while Knuckles was tripping out and having his flashback, his mind was witnessing that flashback, but his physical body was going from inside the pyramid to outside the pyramid to through these forests to up the ladder and on the minecart and back through the train station and back up the air shaft, walking back to the altar all on his own while his mind was experiencing the flashback. That's interesting. That's interesting. Anyway, that doesn't actually mean anything. It doesn't matter. Once again, this is what being crazy is like. Welcome to the depths of my insanity. It's very fun. It's very fun being crazy. I like how apparently we were just here. The last level Knuckles played was here in this pyramid. That was not there earlier. How quickly did Eggman... Although, look, that's the egg carrier in the middle of that tower. That's very clearly the egg carrier. We can't really get a good look at it from this angle, but the very top there, how it's all spiky, that's the front of the egg carrier. So I guess the egg carrier is standing, like, facing straight up, like a rocket ship, and that's the launch.
Gives me the strangest feeling.
And, like, that's the launch platform, and that is his, like, hideout, and maybe... Like, I like whenever you're allowed to go there, they just drop this model on top of that fucking JPEG skybox. But, like, maybe whenever the egg carrier isn't in station, like, he just turns off all the lights so you can't actually see it.
Hurry.
I don't know. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. No one thinks about this but me. I think it's funny that, like, this whole entrance to
Just what I
Eggman's
thought. Time to make a house call.
home base just springs up into existence out of nowhere. So that's how Knuckles got on the airship, apparently. Apparently, in between Eggman shooting down the tornado, he landed it to refuel up or something. And then, while it was landed, Knuckles got on board, and then when he took off, he was already on board. So Knuckles was on the egg carrier before Sonic and Tails were.
Now we'll see who's so easily tricked. I can sense that the emeralds are here somewhere.
I can do that now, apparently. That's an ability that I'm capable of, magically.
What's going on?
So Sonic and Tails just landed, and Eggman's taunting them and saying, you gotta get through the sky deck right now.
Ah, this thing's always changing.
What? What is that line? Knuckles' voice actor is great.
Find the entrance to the sky deck. The Master Emerald is there.
Thanks to Call. I guess she would know. I mean, she is from the Master Emerald. Like, it's very, like, we saw... The Master Emerald broke, Knuckles turned around, and it was chaos, and this glowing little ball that were there. So that's where they came from. Ready, go! Can't get up there. Where is it? Oh, I remember now. I remember where we're going. I still want to point out, like, Knuckles is like, I'll catch up with you guys later. I feel like that's not actually his priority. Like, if he had found all of the Master Emerald pieces when he was back at the altar, and, like, he put them in there, and was like, okay, the Master Emerald is finished, I feel like he would have just been done. I feel like he wouldn't have been like, okay, now to go help out Sonic. I don't know why he said, I'll catch up with you guys later. He clearly has no interest in helping them out.
Far from here.
His motivations in this game are entirely selfish. Or not selfish, but like, he's concerned with his duty of safeguarding the Master Emerald And everything else is tangential to that. He only came to blows with Eggman because he got tricked and he thought he had the pieces of the Master Emerald. Outside of that, doesn't really have beat. So again, remember this level from Sonic. And remember how when Sonic was going through it, it would like steer up and down. Like tilt up and down, and that would cause the geometry of the level that he was traveling through to change. Now as Knuckles, we actually have control of that. Where we grab this stick and point it forward or back, and that changes the direction of the level and alters the obstacles that are in place there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a hunch and point it. Yeah, come on, grab it. Maybe from this angle it'll be easier. There we go, point it down that way, and hope that the pieces are where I hope they'll be. Yep, the pieces placements are always randomized, but there are set locations that they will always appear in at random. And I got really lucky, they were both right here. That's super great, like right next to each other. You can finish this level super fast, it's really funny. Because they're both right there. Where are the last one? Right here. Boom, we're done. Super fast level. And I wasted time talking. I could have finished that in like 30 seconds if I really felt like it. Yeah, Knuckles doesn't like...
Good enough.
He's not one of Sonic's allies yet. Like, they're not enemies.
All right. Now, to restore the Master
But he's not like, okay, like, I share your goal of fighting Eggman for reasons. Like, he's like, no, I just gotta fix the Master Emerald. That's what his mission is. And again, that's funny to remember in retrospect, considering he's part of Team Sonic for so long.
What is the meaning of this?
What is the meaning of this? Once again, poor Knuckles gets no context. The last thing he saw was, I'll go talk to my father and see if we can find another solution to this. Oh, I guess that didn't work out.
Hey, what happened here?
I couldn't stop them.
How are you interacting with her?
They came, and my father... I had no idea how bad this would turn out. I'm shocked.
Look! It's the emerald! Wait!
So, Sonic, his flashback must have been immediately after Knuckles' last one here, where he saw that. Because he came across Tikal passed out.
It's more like a nightmare.
And Sonic came across Tikal standing there being like, this is horrible, I must stop this now. And again, poor Knuckles gets no context. He shows up and he's like, oh, well, I guess talking to her father didn't work out, right?
Friends are in front of the ship fighting. Help them.
How do you know this? Tikal! Answer me!
I finally found all of the missing emerald pieces, but I still can't figure out that creepy monster. Huh? What's
fucking? Ew, what are those sound effects? Sounds like he's gargling. Like, Knuckles act like, once again, I mentioned this, like, Sonic's story doesn't really, like, get a real beginning and ending resolution to it. Knuckles at least does. His story starts out, I'm protecting the Master Emerald, oh shit it broke, what's this weird monster? And if you remember again from Sonic's story, oh my god, what am I doing? What am I doing? From Sonic's story, Knuckles showed up right at the end. Right at the end, Knuckles showed up, and then Sonic's like, okay, gotta go, and he just jumped off the egg carrier. So remember that happened from Sonic's perspective. And look, this is clearly after Sonic's battle with Chaos 6.
I hate you!
And now the egg carrier's all busted up.
Hey, Sonic! There you are, Knuckles. About time.
Again, I don't think there was any real intention for Knuckles to join up with Sonic.
Handle it from here.
Yeah, so
He'll do
Sonic
okay.
just jumps off the fucking egg carrier.
Now, I must return to Angel Island and the Master Emerald. No, it can't be. I guess he didn't get enough the first time. You can't stop me from restoring the Master Emerald.
Does he want to? Is that his goal? What? So apparently Sonic didn't quite finish off Chaos at the end of his story there, even though we saw him blow up into a million pieces. So I do like how this fight is like the battlefield is different. Like the engine is all busted up from the fight between Sonic and Chaos from earlier, and Eggman's not dropping the ice blocks around here. They're just kind of left over, and Knuckles has to, like, take it upon himself to grab at them. So again, Sonic's storyline is kind of weird. It's just kind of a lot of stuff happens. Knuckles' goes for full circle. Like, he can, the Master Emerald breaks open, he confronts Chaos, and now it's ending. Knuckles' final battle here is against Chaos with 6 emeralds in him. I hope he's gonna do the attack. Please do the tail attack, because I really want to show what he looked like during that. Don't die too early, dude. I need you to show something off for me here. And obviously it's gonna end with him putting the Chaos Emerald back together. Okay, what does he look like? Look at the inside of Chaos there, with all 6 Chaos Emeralds around the middle. Look at Chaos 6's design, especially during this stage. What does that look like? Look at Chaos's design internally, with the Chaos Emeralds like on dioceses like that. What does that remind you of? Put a pin in that.
Is that all you got?
So again, resolution. Knuckles' first confrontation was against Chaos when he broke out of the Master Emerald, and his final fight is beating up Chaos 6. And again, I don't know why they're pretending like Knuckles is here to help out. He is only here because the pieces of the Master Emerald were here.
You're finished.
You're finished.
What's left now is to return the Master Emerald safely to my island.
And he showed up and said, "Hey, Sonic. Okay, bye. Gonna go back to Angel Island and put the Master Emerald together." Also, I guess he can assume that he takes the 6 Chaos Emeralds with him. Like, Knuckles, you had no intention of actually helping. I don't know what you guys are talking about here. I also like how Robotnik didn't try to steal the Master Emerald again. And that's kind of funny, right? Like, in the last game, he was like, "I'm gonna take the Master Emerald and fuel the Death Egg with it." And in this one, instead of trying to steal the Master Emerald again, he goes here and interacts with the Master Emerald to break it open to free Chaos and use Chaos. Like, I guess that's like some kind of weird villain honor code where they're like, "Oh, this plan I tried to enact failed, so
All is well
you
now.
can't try the same plan again. Don't try a second
Emerald
time.
and the island have been restored.
Don't try and steal the Master Emerald to power the Death Egg again, right? Fuck it." Like, it didn't work the first time, so honor code, can't do it again. I guess he figures like, well, they stopped me last time, so it'd be pointless. And again, where's Casino Night Zone? Try and find Casino Night Zone in that 3D model. Again, if Knuckles had been able to achieve this before going on the egg carrier, I think he would have been done. Like, why is he trying to act like, oh, I'll help you out, right? He clearly isn't interested in actually doing the hero shit like and with Sonic. He's only interested in safeguarding the Master Emerald and protecting the island.
I'll probably be on this floating island forever. Guarding the Master Emerald again. I may not know the whole story behind this, but perhaps it's better that way. I'm at peace once more.
So, I find Knuckles' story in this game to be kind of tragic. Like, he doesn't find out anything. Like, he starts out the game being like, his story being like, yeah, rap, I love it. I like how Knuckles is just black. He's got dreads and he's associated with R&B and rap. He's just black. I wonder if I could do like a parody article and talk about how like Knuckles' depiction in Sonic games means that like Sega is racist or something, right? That probably would be very hard. If I tried to, I could probably come up with something pretty funny like that. But anyway, like he starts out going like, ever since I can remember, I've been alone on this island, tasked with guarding the Master Emerald. He doesn't remember being given that task. He just remembers that that's what he has to do. He doesn't remember anyone else ever being on the island. He remembers it was just him alone on the island protecting the Master Emerald. That's like, and he goes through all this story and he gets those flashbacks to the Echidna Empire and like where the Master Emerald came from and all that, but he doesn't get any context. It's not like he ever gets any of this exposition where they're like, here is where your heritage, here's what the culture you hail from is, here's why this duty you've been imparted with is so important. He doesn't get any understanding of it. He does, all of his questions are not answered. He even says at the end there, I'll probably never really understand what the fuck just happened. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles. But in the Genesis games, he did chuckle extensively. Just saying. So, like, that's kind of a bummer. That's kind of super sad. That's kind of depressing. But at the same time, maybe it's not. Maybe, like, it's kind of appropriate. Like Knuckles himself says, perhaps it's better that way. I'm at peace. I don't need to know the reasons why. Mine is not to question why. Mine is but to do or die. Dreadbox. He doesn't need to know why. He doesn't need the answers. That doesn't interest him. It's not important. Like, in a way, like, that is kind of a cool thing. Like, most of us go through life wondering, why are we here? And what will we accomplish in our lives? Like, that is the crisis of a lot of people's lives. What is my legacy going to be? What will I accomplish? What's the reason I'm here? Knuckles already knows the answer to that. Knuckles already knows what his purpose is. Why am I here? To protect the Master Emerald. What do I want to do? I want to protect the Master Emerald. That's it! He doesn't need anything else. He doesn't need to know why. He doesn't need to understand. He doesn't aspire to anything higher. He's at peace. How many of us can say that? How many of us can say we're content? I'm at peace. I've achieved what I want to achieve. I know what my purpose is. How many of us can say that? Knuckles can. From as far back as he can remember, he has been content and secure in the knowledge of what he's meant to do. And he doesn't need anything else. Maybe, in fact, understanding more would just complicate his life further and disturb his peace. Maybe understanding more about where he came from and the true nature of why the Master Emerald needs to be guarded would just complicate his life. and he wouldn't be at peace anymore, and he'd end up being embroiled in conflicts that ideally he wouldn't want to have any interest in. Maybe like this, at the shrine, safeguard the Master Mold, that's all he needs. Maybe it's not tragic. Maybe it's kind of, maybe that's kind of a good thing. Maybe that's kind of appropriate. Maybe Knuckles is the one who's lucky here. He's the best off of us all. See how I had so much more to fucking talk about that was actually relevant to the story than with Sonic?